What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to show you how to use the useState hook. This is an awesome hook. It was a big deal when React released it. You used to only be able to manage state in class-based components, but you had to deal with lifecycle methods. They were a little harder to manage, and if your functional component needed state, you had to turn it into a class-based component. With the useState hook, you can now easily manage state right inside your functional component. So to bring it in, just do a comma and then some curly braces because it's a named import. Let's use state. And useState is a function. And you pass in an initial state. And that can be anything. It could be a number. That could be a Boolean. That could be a string. It could even be a function, which you could do some expensive computation to figure out the initial state and then set the initial state that way. And this only happens on the first render. It doesn't happen every time the state updates or on every re-render. So having a more expensive function here is okay if you need it. And I'm going to start off with the classic counter example. So our initial state will start at 0. And then useState gives you two things back, and it gives those to you in an array. So we're doing array destructuring here. Notice we're on the left side of the equal sign. And those two things that it gives you are the state and an updater function to update the state. And it's typical naming convention to name your state and then name the updater function as set whatever the name of your state is. So for us, that'll be count and set count. And then down here in the component, I'll just do a paragraph tag and we can display our state, which for us is count. And then I'll put a button here. And when we click this button, it'll fire off this function, and that's where we'll do our updater function. Our set state, for us that's set count. And I'll say count, which is our state, whatever our state is at the time. +1. And then inside this button, I'll just say count it. Save that. Okay, here we go. So this is our initial state, which we had set to 0, and this is the button that increments that state. And then another cool thing you can do is toggle booleans with useState. So I'll say const, and I'll name this state show count. And so with that naming convention, the updater function will be set show count. And then that initial state is going to be true, a Boolean. And I'll do another button here. And when we click this one, it's going to fire off this function, and we'll do set show count, and we're going to set that to the opposite of show count. So if this is true, it's going to set it to false. If it's false, it'll set it to true. And then for that button, we'll just say toggle count. And now here, I'll do a ternary expression where I'm checking for show count. If that's true, I'll display the count. If it's false, I will display nothing. If I save that, so we have our count, and we also have toggle count, where we can hide it or display it. And this technique is very useful for a sidebar in like mobile navigation if you want to toggle if that's open or closed, and then set the CSS class accordingly to display it or hide it. Now let's use state and update the state with an object. I'll call this state guitar and set guitar. And our initial state is going to be an object. I'll go down here so put it on multiple lines so it's easier to read. In that first key we'll say brand is Fender and model is Stratocaster. I'm going to comment this stuff out for now with command /. And then I'll do another paragraph here where I display guitar, which is the name of our state, which is an object. So I'll do dot brand. And then I'll duplicate this line by doing Shift Option down arrow. And I'll change this one to model. And then I'll do another button here. And when we click this one, we'll say set guitar, and we'll pass in the object, and we'll say that the model is Telecaster. And then inside this button, I'll say change model. So I have the state and the brand as Fender, and then the state and the model as Stratocaster. If I change this to Telecaster, see, it changed the model, but it got rid of the brand. And the reason for that is with class-based components, it automatically merged your state. And with functional components, it doesn't do that. So you actually have to pass in your old state, which we'll do with the spread operator. And our state was guitar. And then you can update a certain property or add to it or whatever you want to do there. So we'll save that. Refresh this. We have Fender Stratocaster, change model, Fender Telecaster. So I realize these examples are pretty static, but the way they work is exactly the same for more dynamic use cases. Say you're reaching out to your backend or reaching an API. We'll say api.com/ let's say the user was searching for a song. You toss their input in there. You do like a dot then. After your dot then, you would do response. And then here you could set the state. So if our state was song, you could do set song and then pass in response.song if that's in the response. Or if it was an object with, say, the artist and the song, you would just do your state of song, use the spread operator, and then do artist is response.artist and song is response.song, something like that. And I also have a video on form handling in React where I use the useState hook to track and use the user's input, and I'll toss a link to that in the description if you want to check that out. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching.